So we're going to expand our work on these Hebrew verses by introducing what are known as binyanim. The Hebrew word binyan means building. Binyanim is the plural buildings, but the binyanim also refer to the Hebrew verbal conjugations. The verbal paradigms are 7 in number and give us an opportunity to deepen our understanding of the meaning of the roots. I discovered a very nice introduction to the binyanim online today, and I think I'll blow it up just a little bit if I can. 7 binyanim for Hebrew verbs. Hebrew verbs can be classified into any one of the 7 binyanim. Each binyan portrays a particular aspect of the shoresh, or root. The word binyan in Hebrew means a building or structure. The idea is that we can build all verbs by obeying certain rules, and that Hebrew verbs have structure. Binyan comes from the 3-letter shoresh, Beit Nun He, which is related to another shoresh, Beit Yud Nun, which means understanding. So the Beit Nun He Bana means to build, and Bet Yud Nun Bin means to understand. So through structure, we can understand Hebrew verbs. Joseph, would you kindly read the next paragraph, an introductory example?
Yes. The paragraph here is a classical example of one Hebrew shoresh is infected throughout all 7 binyanim. The root is half tav vet, which conveys an idea of writing. One may have heard of ketubah, which is a marriage contract. This is because a marriage contract is a written agreement.
Very nice. So we see in the Hebrew word for ketubah, or ketuvah, we see the kaf, the tav, and the vet of the shoresh katav, meaning to write. The ketuvah is the written document which supports the Jewish marriage. So we're going to discover, using kaf, tav, vet, the 7 binyanim. Binyan number 1, kaf, tav. This is not so clear to me how they pronounce this isn't coming out very well. I transformed this from PDF to Word, and it's not coming out very nicely on the Hebrew side. So let's just stick with the Hebrew transliteration for tonight. I think we'll get the same idea, and tomorrow I'll present it a little more nicely. The first binyan is katav. He wrote. The second binyan is known as an intensive form, kitev. He engraved. So imagine like you're writing, but now you're taking a chisel and you're engraving in stone, kitev. And in fact, I believe that is the language of God engraving the 10 Commandments onto the stone tablets. He dictated is the third binyan. He chtiv. We call this, Joseph, the causative. Peter, it's called the causative because we're causing something to happen. In this instance, when we dictate something, like imagine you're dictating to a secretary who's taking down your words, we're causing the secretary to write. Ani machtiv Et hamichtav, I dictate the letter. Ani machtiv, lihachtiv, to dictate. So those are the three initial binyanim, and there are four more which we will discuss in future lessons, but I just wanted to give you a chance on those. Let us start with our Hebrew lesson tonight, our scripture lesson tonight. And let me invite Peter to do some reading first off. Let me bring it back a little bit to something more reasonable here. Peter, we have again vocabulary word associated with each verse. So in this case, we have the verse from 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse.
It's not presenting.
Oh, I'm not sharing.
Yes.
Okay. We're looking at Samuel chapter 2, verse 17. Peter, could you kindly read the vocabulary words under the verse? They're in red, and they have English translations next to them. Could you give them a try, please, Peter?
Hara,
Nice. What's the second letter?
Vav,
Is that right? Good. One more try.
Hava,
Well done. And what's the meaning of that one, kindly?
existed.
Well done. The next word, kindly.
Kaetz,
Close. And we have to get used to a number of different fonts. This first letter looks a lot like a kaf, but it's actually not. Try to identify this first letter. It's actually the nun.
Naetz,
Very nice. And your tzadi is excellent. Na'etz. And the meaning of that one, kindly.
insult.
Right. So keep that stylized nun in your mind, because it will help you in the next word. Kindly, the next word.
Ve'ar,
So close. Again, that first letter is throwing us because it's a very stylized letter in this font. Take another look at this letter. It's the same one that confused us in Na'etz. It's the same beginning letter.
Neir,
Ni'ar.
yeah, Ne'ar,
There you go. Very nice. And that has the meaning, please?
young boy or young man.
Right. Then we have a phrase that means the face of God. Do you want to try pronouncing that one, please?
Et,
Good.
Peni,
Pine. So
P-
that,
yeah, Pine,
nice. Pine. Et Pine. And do you recognize this as one of the names of God? And how do you prefer to pronounce this is totally acceptable, however you prefer to pronounce it. In prayer, I would say Adonai, and in teaching, I would say Hashem, the name. Some would say Yehovah, some would say Yahweh, some would say Elohim. So, and some would just leave it silent. So that's fine. But there was one more word I think I tucked in. No, that's all the words for the first phrase. So Peter, let's give ourselves a challenge. Let's try to do some reading of the verse. This Yud Zion at the beginning is the number. Yud stands for 10, and Zion stands for 7. So Yud Zion is 10 plus 7, or verse 17. So we don't have to read the Yud Zion. We start with Va. Whenever you're ready, Peter. Yep.
Vate.
Close.
Vateu.
Va, te, he.
Vatehi.
Nice. Nice. Next word.
Hata.
Good. Finish it off. So the ayin is the aleph is silent, so we go right to the tav. Chatat.
Hatat.
Nice.
Hanei. Hanei ar.
Finish it off.
Hanei
Ar.
ar.
Okay, so here's where it's important to break up the word correctly into syllables. We have ha, ni, a, rim. So we have 4 open syllables. And Joseph, it bears reminding that in the case of ha or u, the or and, we actually make it an open syllable, and then we make another open syllable with the shva. I think you recall that from last night.
Yes.
And Peter got that just right. So it's Peter ha, ne, a, rim. Try it.
Ha. Nei ar. Rim.
Congratulations, well done. This is good work, brother. Let's keep on going.
Gedo. Gedo. La.
Well done. Now you're getting the feel for breaking it up into syllables. Very nice. Try the next word.
Teud.
A couple of corrections. What is the first letter?
Can it be mem?
Yes, it is. Correct. Right. And then the cholam makes the O sound. The cholam, that dot above the aleph, is O. Try the word one more time.
Meod.
There you go. Very nice. And now you've had this phrase in your preliminary reading, so you should have a good shot at the next few words.
Et. Pine.
Good.
Ye. Va. Ye. Yen va.
Actually, we need another vowel in here. Oops, that's not going to do it. Hold on a second. I'll make this. The yud hey vav hey is sometimes pronounced Yehovah, like that. Yehovah. You see now how it's Yehovah?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yehovah.
Nice. Let's continue.
Ki.
Nice.
Ni a. Ni a. So.
Nice. Careful with the last vowel. That's a shuruk. Makes the u sound. Ni atsu.
Ni atsu.
Well done.
Ha. Ana. Shim.
Well done. You're doing a nice job of breaking up the word into syllables. That's very important. One more line and you get your vacation.
At
8.
8
Good.
Mini.
So this is a case where we close on the nun. This isn't like the ha and then you continue. This is min. You go min.
Mi.
No, you finish on the nun, min,
Min.
and then you proceed. You don't pronounce the shva, it's silent. Min, and then you proceed.
Min had.
There you go. And here's another instance of the name of God.
Yehovah.
Very nice. And let me just point out, I don't think you were with us yesterday. Were you, Peter, with us yesterday?
Sorry?
Were you with us yesterday, Jana?
No.
No. So
Yeah.
the shoresh hava existed is, you could say, built into the name of God, and it creates an interesting interpretation that the word existence is built into the name of God, that God is the existence of the world, that God creates everything that exists. A lot we can do with that. Anyway, Nancy, are you still with us?
Yes.
And would you be kind enough to give us the pronunciations of the two vocabulary words where my blue circle is? These are for verse 18 now. The two vocabulary words and their meanings.
Okay. To save in Hebrew is sharet.
Nice.
And fasten with a belt. In Hebrew, it means chagar.
Beautiful. Very nice pronunciation. Let's read this short verse kindly. Yud chet again. The yud is the number 10, and the chet is the number 8. So this is the way we number verses in Hebrew. You add yud plus chet, you get 18.
Okay.
Yeah. So we don't have to pronounce that. We just understand that this is giving us verse 18, and then we start reciting with u.
Okay. Ushmuel.
Nice. And let me, and forgive me for interrupting you, but I think I pointed this out yesterday, but let's point it out again. There are certain prefixes, like the word and is u.
Yes.
Mostly we've learned that we would close a syllable and pronounce it oosh. That might be we might be tempted to pronounce it that way because most of the time that's how we've learned to read our Hebrew, is when when a shva is in the middle of the word, it acts as a stop sign. So in this case, we want to say oosh. But
yes.
but in this case, because u means and, it stands alone. We pronounce it and then we actually vocalize the shva. U Shemuel, Shemuel, U Shemuel. Right.
U Shemuel.
Very nice.
Okay, so pardon me.
Yeah.
So it's only with u and not with any other vowels that will just come up.
There's one other consonant, ha. Ha means the.
Okay, so with her also it will make the shva to make
pronounced.
Not to have a okay.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. U Shemuel.
Nice.
Mesharet.
Nice.
Et Penei Yehat Yehovah.
Right. Good.
Naar. Chagur. Effort.
Good.
Effort.
Ephod.
Effort. Bad.
Very nice. And Shmuel served Misharet at Pnei Adonai before God. Na'ar, just a lad, just a kid. Chagur ephod bad. A belt fastened the linen cloak to him. The word sharet is built into this word misharet. Sharet is actually the binyan piel. It's an intensive form, which means to serve. I'm not sure if it
Okay.
even appears as in any other binyan, but that's what that means. Let me just touch base and make sure I haven't neglected anybody in our meeting. Johanna is with us, and 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 let Joseph, you have a question. Kindly, Joseph.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had a question on the Yud Hey Vav Hey.
Okay.
Does the Vav has both the Kamat and the Holam on it, or is the Holam at the Hey?
Right. The cholam is supposed to be over the hay. Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
somehow I thought it is on the top of the
I
Vav.
know it looks like it. It definitely looks like it. But it's over the hay. It's a problem with this. You know what? I don't want to pretend that I'm absolutely sure on this. Let's take a look at some texts and be sure we understand, because maybe you're seeing correctly. Maybe it is over the vav. I'm not entirely sure. We'll double check that. Good question.
Okay.
Okay. Um, Johanna, we have 4 vocabulary words associated with the last verse. Could you kindly give us those vocabulary words and their meanings, and then we'll take a look at the verse together.
Okay, so the first word is to make, and it is ashe, ase.
Nice.
Yes, seen.
Right.
Ase, and the second one is to grow up, and it is Allah,
Very nice.
and the third word is mother, and that is ima,
Right.
and the last word is day, and that is yom.
Well done. And you got it right, even though I forgot to put in the vowel, but I'll put it in right now. So, yeah, that vowel definitely is in Yahweh is definitely sitting on top of the vav. I'm going to have to take a look at that in some of the texts and confirm that. So the binyan that appears in this verse is called hefil, or causative, and it is associated with the word Allah, to go up. So we are going to have an example of the verb Allah to go up in 2 binyanim, in 2 different verbal conjugations, verbal forms. I don't have any clues in this verse, Johanna. You have to find the 2 instances of Allah without any clues. There's no red to clue you in to where they are. You just have to scan the verse and see if you can find Allah. 2 instances of Allah.
Okay, so mm,
And sometimes one of the letters will be missing. So you have to take a look at the second line. See if you see one instance in the second line.
Okay, so then it would be the second word of the second line.
Nice. You want to pronounce that?
It is now I pressed something wrong. It is veha alta.
Nice.
Veha alta.
There you go. Veha alta. And this hey, Joseph, is the sign. It's the indicator of the he field, the causative. The hey gives us that causative meaning. What do I mean by that? It means that that Hannah caused the cloak to be brought up to Samuel. We're talking about Hannah going up every year with a new coat for Samuel because he was growing. You know, he was a little boy.
In Swahili we call it kitenzi jina. It represents ku.
Really?
Yes. Kusoma, kuomba, and many other verbs.
No, but that's the infinitive form.
Yes.
In Kiswahili, we're not dealing with the infinitive form here. Well, are we though? The ha'alta. You know, maybe it is an infinitive form. Good.
Aha.
Okay.
To cause to do something.
Aha.
Yes.
Right. The ha'alta. Right. And then take a look, Johanna, at the third line for another instance of Allah.
Well, I think the only one that somehow would resemble something like that would be the third last line and the last word.
Right. You want to pronounce that for us?
It is ba'alota.
Right. Ba'alota. And that's more like a kusoma, kucheza, kuweza kind of analogy of an infinitive form, ba'alota, in bringing it up, in her bringing it up, ba'alota, in her bringing it up. Very nice. We're going to take a look now for the shorish ase, to make. And this one, there's just one instance of it, and it's in the first line. I'll give you that much. You're up to bat, Johanna.
Yeah, so I said it's on the first line and it's the last word combination. This ta'ase lo.
Right. She made for him. Very nice. Did you actually say it before and I didn't hear it? Did my audio cut out for a second? Something like that, or?
Yeah, I said it, but I had muted microphone, so it didn't really help. I was speaking alone until you mentioned that you don't hear anything I speak.
I gotcha. All right. Would you kindly give us the verse in Hebrew? Again, this Yud Tet stands for 10 plus Tet is 9. Yud Tet stands for 19. So we start with U Me'il.
Ume'il, katon, ta'ase lo, imo,
Nice.
veha alta lo, miyamin.
Mm-hmm.
Then let me check which line. Okay, so Yamima
Nice.
Baalota
Nice. Mm-hmm.
et Isha et Isha Liz Boach
Good.
Liz Boach. It was the A was like A and then het.
Right.
Liz Boach.
Right.
It was the rule, right?
Right. The furtive patach. Furtive means sneaky. Why is it sneaky? Because it goes before the chet instead of afterwards, like we're used to. So it sneaks in front. And we start with the patach, izboach. Well done.
Et zevach hayamim.
Nice. So this interesting, the word yom, the plural is yamim. But in the biblical Hebrew, actually, they don't translate it days. They translate yamim as a year or years. So we have umeil katon ta'aselo, and Chana would make a small garment for him, the ha'alta, and she would bring it up low to him, miyamim yamima, from year to year. Ba'olosa et isha, when she would go up with her husband, lizboach et zevach hayamim, to sacrifice the annual sacrifice, the yearly sacrifice. Very nice. Okay, so there's a lot of good work there. Peter and Nancy and Johanna and Joseph, you gave me some good questions to research. But like the ha'alta would be more like, like anasema. It's like anasema, like she speaks. It's not the kusema. It's more like anasema. In this he feel form, the ha'alta. The ba'alota, in her bringing it up, is more like the kucheza, kusema, kuweza, like that.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
Understood.
Great, cool. And thank you for giving me a chance to show off my meager Kiswahili. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
But anyway, right. But anyway, we still have a few minutes, and I think we can find